welcome back to Tea with the OT. I am here to welcome you to a very special end of the year episode. Whether you are a parent navigating the daily chaos around the holiday season or a fellow provider wrapping up your clinicals before the end of the year, I'm glad you're here. This episode is special because I am combining both perspectives from Tea with the OT as well as Talk After the Tea for us to have a really lovely, warm, and grounding conversation. To match that conversation, I'm drinking a very nice and grounding tea today, especially warm and wonderful for it, welcoming in this wonderful winter weather we have been having. And it feels like the perfect companion for the discussion we are going to move forward with today. As we look forward to 2026, and towards the end of 2025, I want to introduce a concept that has been on my mind and has changed the way I view my time and energy. And we often hear about finding work-life balance, and we're familiar with hearing that. But today I want to talk about occupational harmony. Let's start by defining occupational harmony. As an OT, when I say occupation, I'm not just talking about your job. I'm talking about the things that occupy your time, the activities that are important to you and that get you through the day, and then help you reach your goals, no matter how big or small those goals might be. For us, that includes our roles as parents, therapists, mothers, fathers, siblings, daughters, friends. Occupational harmony is about finding a rhythm among all of these roles. I love the word harmony here because unlike the word balance, which implies everything has to be on an equal playing field all the time, harmony implies that one role supports the other. It allows for seasons, and occasionally we need to focus on one task more than the other, and that's okay. This is part of the harmony. So let's start by taking a little bit of an audit and getting to know yourself a bit. This is that reflection that's going to come in handy. In Grow Beyond Collective this month, we are discussing our own harmony as providers. And the first step in finding it is asking, what does harmony look like right now for me? Do I feel harmonious in my tasks and my roles? Or do I feel like I'm pouring energy into an occupation that's actually just draining me and not serving me or my family in any way? To figure this out, you need to do an occupational audit. Look at where you are spending your time and spending your energy day to day. Once you see the reality of your schedule, compare it to where you want to be spending your energy. And if you aren't sure what it does energize you, this is the time to be looking for that self-discovery. I'm totally serious. Look at those personality tests. If you're really lost, I'm not sure what actually drives you and what is going to fill up your cup at the end of the day. If that has just felt like it's fallen to the wayside to the point where you're not really sure what that even looks like anymore, look back at what filled you up as a child and take some of these personality tests like human design or working genius, or even consider your astrological sign. Those will just give you a starting point to really think about and reflect on what is most important to you. For me, this really clicked in when I did look at my human design profile. I learned that I'm someone who requires intentional rest. Before knowing that, I felt guilty every time I took a pause in the middle of my day. I thought, I should be being productive like everybody else. I'm not doing enough. I need to push through this. But actually, in reality, that rest part is just part of who I am. It's required for me to show up as my best self, and it's required for me to just take that 10 minutes of reset each day and just not feel guilty about it. So it helps me show up for the higher demand parts of my life. Now, I also want us to think about that list of shoulds or those should habits, and that snowball effect that we can think about when we are incorporating new or different habits into our routines. Once you know what you need, you might be tempted to change all of things at once. I've been there. So I remember sitting down and making a list of all the things that I know and I thought that I should be doing each day for my mental health, my physical health, and the list ended up being a mile long. And I'm telling you, in my head, before I wrote this all down, I was just berating myself for not getting to it each day. So like I was telling myself, oh, I should meditate each day. I need to journal every morning after that meditation. I need to exercise every day. I need to eat 5 servings of veggies, make a smoothie each morning, and the list goes on and on. But I was like, if I didn't get to one of those tasks in the day, I was like, well, there went that day. And so trying to do that every day just wasn't sustainable, and it was stressing me out. So here's the secret to the harmony. Start small. Don't put pressure on yourself to do it all the right things that you should be doing. Pick one thing. Can you meditate for just 5 minutes while you're in the school pickup line? Can you deep breathe for 3 minutes in the parking lot before your next client or before you clock into work? This concept is something similar to what James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits with that snowball effect. When we make small incremental changes in our day, they do start to snowball. Once that 5-minute meditation becomes something that's just part of your regular routine, you find yourself saying, wow, that felt great. Maybe I'll add a couple more minutes tomorrow, or maybe I'll actually journal after my meditation tomorrow so that it integrates a little bit deeper and I can keep that peace that I had felt during that meditation a little bit longer throughout my day. And suddenly you're building to the person that you know you are and to the potential that you have. And we all hear the phrase, you can't pour from an empty cup. And honestly, I really do get tired of hearing that phrase, but we really can't escape the truth of it. So my challenge for you as we start to wrap up 2025 is this. Take a moment today, whatever day that you happen to be watching this, even if it's after the end of 2025 and we are well into 2026, take a moment today and sit down with your roles. Look at your occupations for those roles as a mother, as a father, as a clinician, and ask yourself how you can find a little more harmony amongst those roles. And if you're not giving enough energy to your role as a parent, how can you shift that to be more in line with your personal priorities in the coming year? Thank you so much for being here with me today and for being part of this community throughout this year. I'm so excited to keep building onto what we discuss in Tea with the OT, Talk After the Tea, and of course at the Grow Beyond Collective. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your 2025 year. It's going to be a wonderful 2026, and I want to help you and support you set yourself up for success and find that occupational harmony in the next year.